So good morning, everyone. This is the 26th of October, 2025. This is the look of the for the weather ahead for Flagler County weather update for the week ahead. And we're starting our look with extremely dangerous Hurricane Melissa, which sadly has Jamaica in its crosshairs. And as I've just stated, this is likely going to bring historic, catastrophic, life altering damage to the island of Jamaica. And again, if you have any friends down there, if you have anyone down there on vacation, just please make sure they are keen to this storm. This is likely going to be the strongest hurricane they've had since 1988, and the 88 storm was devastating. And this one actually could be much stronger than the 88 storm, which was Gilbert, if I remember correctly. Anyhow, so how's Melissa going to play out, and what's it going to do for us, if anything at all? So let's go to the National Hurricane Center. First, let's look at some models real quick. So looking at the model data from, that's out there, it's pretty consistent that it's going to take a right turn and go right over Jamaica and then eastern Cuba, southeastern Bahamas. Keep in mind the weather and the impacts are going to be much further than what the models are showing here. But as far as Florida goes, we're in pretty good shape. So there's nothing, there's a couple to get a little close here, but there's nothing really of any super major consequence for us here as far as Melissa goes. So taking a look at some of the key messages associated with Melissa. They're advising to seek shelter immediately. Damaging winds and heavy rainfall today and Monday will cause catastrophic, life-threatening flash flooding and numerous landslides before the strongest winds arrive Monday night and into Tuesday. Extensive infrastructure damage, long-duration power and communications outages, and isolation of communities is expected. This is going to be a problem for Jamaica. This is going to be a problem for Haiti. This is going to be a problem for the Dominican Republic. Eastern Cuba, Southeast Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, you are also going to be possibly under the gun with this storm. Now, the good news is for us, as horrible as that is for us, we are looking to be off the hook with this storm, but it is going to bring some other weather into us, not directly associated with it, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But I'm showing you Melissa just for one to show you that there's no concern of it coming our way. But also, if you have any interest or friends or family or anybody in this area here, they really need to be paying attention to this, and they need to be taking action. Jamaica will probably not be the same after this storm. It could even be right now, as of 8 o'clock, we had sustained winds of 140 miles per hour associated with this tropical cyclone, and there's room for it to grow. We only get to 155, 156, and we're Cat 5. So Jamaica is very mountainous. Their infrastructure isn't really like it is here, so they are going to have some serious problems. They're already having that now. They're already having flash floods. They're already having all of that. They're going to have much more problems before this is done with Jamaica. And this is a very slow-moving tropical cyclone, so it's not going to be like over and done in a day. They are going to get pounded for several days by this storm, and it could theoretically basically get crushed from the storm. Just it slows progression over the island before it starts accelerating over Cuba and then over the Bahamas, which anywhere in this area, if you got friends in this area, you got family in this area, you have anybody down there on vacation, make sure they are paying attention to this. This is a deadly serious tropical cyclone. But for us, it is not going to be a problem. But we are going to see some knock-on effect. But going beyond that, let's see how the tropics look going into the end of October into November. Right now, we're looking really good. We don't see anything else in the offing through the next, at least into the middle part of November. So that's definitely some good sign. It does not mean that anything cannot pop up. Sometimes unexpected things can happen. But we're looking in really good shape with that. So what's going to be happening here? So Tropical Cyclone Melissa way down here, but we have this convoluted low pressure system and frontal system taking shape, and this is going to bring us some unsettled weather, especially as this front begins to come back north on Monday. Going to bring some rain, a little bit of a localized nor'easter to our beaches as it moves northward. Marine conditions already deteriorating. We are going to see hazardous conditions offshore, hazardous conditions in the surf. Now, you might see the surfers out there in the waves. Those guys and girls, they know what they're doing, so don't worry about them. But if you're not used to rough waves and that kind of stuff, if you've never swam in the ocean before, you do not want to be getting into the ocean in the next few days until things calm down. So this is Monday with low pressure developing off the east coast and that front lifting northward. Melissa's still staying down there. And then by Tuesday, Melissa's still well off to the south. And then as this low pressure begins to crank up, swings this cold front through. As Melissa goes further to the north, the circulation on it's going to help pull some cooler air down on top of us later on this week, and I will show you that in just a moment. So taking a look at what the National Weather Service has got to say, taking a look at their key messages, as I was speaking about earlier, beach and marine hazards through midweek. So again, this is beaches. This is if you're going to the ocean, high risk of rip currents, that is a thing right now. Building rough surf, gusty onshore winds, gust up to 35 miles per hour. I wouldn't be surprised to see a few gusts up to gale force along the immediate beaches next day or two. So if you're inland, it's just going to be a breezy day. Nothing really to worry about. But if you're right on A1A, if you are right on the coast, then you want to get those rubbish cans in. If you have any really lightweight Halloween decorations, Flagler Beach, Beverly Beach, anywhere right along the immediate beaches, you might want to get those secured. If you think the wind's going to mess with it, I would get that in. Again, not a tropical cyclone for us, not a hurricane, not a strong nor'easter, but any of those really lightweight items that can be blown about, I would get those. Tidal flooding and such, yes, we might have some problems with that, but right now it looks to be very low end. So minor coastal and tidal flooding possible Tuesday, Wednesday. And we're not looking right now at significant tidal flooding like we had a couple weeks ago. But as we get in November, we have another series of king tides coming. And as long as we don't get a nor'easter with that, we'll have to kind of watch and see how that's going to shake out. So again, just to re-emphasize, the marine conditions deteriorating today with that high risk of dangerous rip currents. Rip currents kill more people than lightning and tornadoes combined. So again, if you got folks from out of town, they're not used to swimming in the ocean. You see the surfers out there, they know what they're doing. So just because the surfers are out there doesn't mean it's safe to be in the ocean. So rainfall, yes, we do need some rainfall, and we are going to be looking at maybe, looks like 1.5 to 1.5 inches, but maybe 2 to 3 inches just to our north. These rainfall updates get shifted all the time, so it's very possible we could see some heavier amounts than that. The bulk of this is going to be into tonight through Monday, a few isolated thunderstorms possibly thrown in. So I'd say anywhere from 1/2 to 2 inches of rainfall. Now, we could actually see higher amounts right here. So even though it's advertising 2 to 3 inches, 3 to 5 inches is not impossible with this. So again, some very heavy torrential downpours will be possible. With these type of systems, sometimes a band of very heavy rain will set up. We just don't know exactly where that band of heavy rain is going to set up. So it's really impossible to pick out who's going to get the heaviest rain until it starts coming together. So looking at drought indexes, again, drought conditions are building to our west, but we're in pretty decent shape here. And with this rainfall coming, that's likely going to help us out. So let's talk about that rainfall chances for today. We're looking at about a 50% chance. Notice those rain chances are higher along the beaches. Less chances as you go inland. Looks nice right now, but they're forecasting these rain chances to increase later today. And then tonight, they get elevated to about 60% chance. Tomorrow looks like a good day of rain. It's going to be off and on, though. It's not going to rain the entire day. Rainfall precipitation chances, rather, about 75% county-wide. And then tomorrow night, those rain chances begin to dwindle down, about a 20% chance. And then we get down to nothing when we get to Tuesday. And then maybe a 10% chance on a couple days. But as we go into Halloween, we're looking to stay dry. And wait till I show you the temperatures for Halloween. And then look dry Halloween night. And then Saturday, if you're going out to the Renaissance Fair, if you're going down in Lady Lake, if you're doing any outside stuff, looks to be really nice there. So let's talk about winds. So wind gust right now. So today, peak gust 26 miles per hour along the beaches. Tomorrow, it looks like gusting up to 14. And then by Tuesday, gusting back up to 25. So still staying breezy next couple days, and those winds start to come down as we go through the rest of the week. Going back to rainfall, let's take a look at rainfall amounts. So next 2 days, looks like, again, closing up maybe inch and a half. Most locations, inch and a half. Next couple days, maybe 2 inches southeast part of the county. Keep in mind that there could be some locally heavier amounts than this. So, and it could be less amounts as well. So this is what's average. This is what's expected to be on average. But there could be some heavier amounts out there. Most of this is going to come tonight, Monday. And as we go further into the week, we see 7-day rainfalls. We don't see any more really increase after the 2-day there. And thank you, Shello. Appreciate that comment. Thank you kindly. Any questions, drop them in the comments there. But it looks like Monday is going to be a really, it's going to be our unsettled day. Doesn't mean it's going to rain the entire day. Okay, how about temperatures? Let's talk about temperatures because some of you are going to really like this. So for today, we're near 80. So a little bit warmer than normal for this time of year. Tonight, 70s countywide, maybe some upper 60s inland. Monday, 79 to 80 again. And then down into the 60s by Tuesday morning. And then as we get to Tuesday, 70s, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, 60s. Just wait, folks. Just wait. Wednesday, high temperatures, 70s again. Down in the 50s. Thursday morning, lower 50s, many locations. But wait, if there's more, for 1995, you also get cooler temperatures. Temperatures on Thursday, not even getting to 70. Look at that. So 67 degrees for a high temperature. 68 in Beverly Beach. 67 in Beverly Beach. 68 Flagler Beach. US 1 Florida East Coast Railway Corridor. Just maybe flirting with 70, folks. But wait, there's more. As we get down to Friday morning, 40s. Yes, you're looking at that right. 50s beaches, 40s inland, 49, 48, 48 out here by Mondex, Andalusia, 49 Cody's Corner, 49 Bunnell, 50 Palm Coast, 54 Flagler Beach, 54 Marineland. Moving right along as we go into Friday night, Saturday morning, mid 40s to upper 40s. Again, 50s beaches. Now, ocean temperature 76 degrees. So it's going to keep things a little warmer at the beaches. So even though the low in Flagler Beach is forecast to be 56, it could actually be a bit warmer right at the beach itself. But you get away from that ocean water, and it cools down. So looks like upper 40s again. So it basically is what we're saying here. That we get to Saturday, high temperatures 71, 72, 73, maybe staying right near 69 at the beaches. And then Sunday morning, we're in the 50s pretty much universally. So much cooler air is on the way after we get through this unsettled weather, which is going to visit us on Monday and perhaps a little bit on Tuesday. So let's take a look at risk of hazardous temperatures. This is where the risk of temperatures where people really going to need to bundle up. Well, November 2nd, looks like most of that stays off to the north of us, so we're probably going to be in the 30s in some places up here. So if you're popping up into Georgia, Swanee River Valley, those areas, but, it's getting closer to us. But let's talk about the long-range forecast now. So 6 to 10-day outlook. This takes us October 31st, Halloween, October 31st to November 4th. Look at this. We have a 73% chance of temperatures below normal. It's going to cool down, folks. And this is a very strong signal of that from the Climate Prediction Center. And it looks to be below normal precipitation, so it looks to be dry for all the spooks, goblins, all the trick-or-treaters. Now, if you're going to be wearing a skimpy costume for a Halloween party, it's going to be a bit chilly for you. So just keep that in mind out there. I approve of skimpy costumes, but it might be a bit chilly if you're going to be wearing one. So just be with it. So now, going further on into the future, August, yes. November 2nd to November 8th, staying cool, 48% chance of below normal temperatures. And then we're starting to get maybe equal chances of precipitation when we get to our precipitation outlook here. Man, still staying a little bit dry is the way things look right now. So again, just popping back to the National Weather Service here in Jacksonville and taking a look at the satellite as we close out today. You can kind of see there's a lot of clouds going different directions here. That front that's to the south of us is kind of right here. You can kind of see the fronts right there. Some higher clouds moving in as an upper level disturbance pushes in here. And that's going to wrap things up. So in short, warm today with rain chances increasing, breezy at the beaches. Gusty up to 30, 35 miles an hour. I wouldn't be surprised to see the odd gust of 40 along the immediate beach. Inland just going to be breezy. But those rain chances will be increasing universally. The odd rumble of thunder possible. Couple thundery heavy downpours possible overnight tonight, maybe Monday. And then things dry out. And then by the end of the week, things cool down quite significantly. First cool blast of the season. Great for trick-or-treating. Great for if you I talked about skimpy costumes, but a lot of costumes aren't skimpy. They're layered. So you're not going to die in your Halloween costume either when we get towards the end of the week. So that's some good news there as well. If you're just tuning in and you want to watch this whole forecast, you can rewind it and it'll be up on our Facebook page eternally. We'll also be posting the link to our YouTube channel and be sure to subscribe to that as well. We'll also be posting to our TikTok channel. You can follow us at Flagler Weather Info on TikTok. So everybody out there, enjoy your week. We will be back maybe Wednesday with an update. Bye-bye now.